Call the meeting to order. Any items from the public? All right, need a motion to approve the agenda. And there is some amendments.
We do have some amendments, starting with the Board of Assessment Appeals, which is scheduled to start on or about 10:45. We still need for you to convene as the Board of Assessment Appeals. We do have one order for you to consider. However, the Board of Assessment Appeals hearing scheduled at 10:45 for One Valley Bank East has been pulled. The Board of Assessment Appeals scheduled for 11 o'clock. Horizon 261 Development Drive has been pulled. And the Board of Assessment Appeals hearing scheduled for the Martinsburg IRS OC LLC has been pulled. Also, the 12 o'clock pilot discussion at the request of the property owner, the property developer, has been rescheduled for next week because they would like to be present to discuss the pilot with the council. No further negotiations. They would just like to be here when the pilot is approved.
And is that something that we've also advised the city of Martinsburg?
Yes, they've been involved in the emails.
Okay. All right.
So your day's just gotten a little bit shorter. We do have executive session item that will be moved up to about 10:30.
Okay. All right. Somebody want to make a motion?
Move to approve the agenda as modified for Thursday, October the 28th.
Second.
Motion been made, second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. There is one thing though on the appeals. There is an item that Mr. Delegetti has asked us to keep on there. Is that
That's the order that I
Right.
have here
for us to accept the order? All right. All right.
discussion.
All right. So, any questions on the purchase order? I guess I did ask for. We approved the agenda, right?
Yes,
Did I ask for a vote? Okay. All right. Purchase order. Any questions on that? All right. No internal budget revisions. Change in status. We have a new hire recommendation from Randy Lilly, Director of Emergency Management, for Candace Schaefer as the Administrative Assistant Emergency Management Coordinator, effective November 1st, 2021, with an annual salary of $29,515. We have a new hire recommendation from Jennifer Swisher, 911 Director, for Delaney Lyson as a part-time dispatcher, effective October 28, 2021, with an hourly rate of $21.48. Is that a prior employee or?
She was full-time. We received notification, actually she resigned because her husband had gotten notification that due to his employment, he would be moving out of the area. That has changed, but they have a small child, but she's agreed to come back on a part-time as needed, primarily the weekends. So that'll be a big help for us. She's fully certified, so she can step right back into the job.
All right. New hire recommendation received from Honorable Larry Hess, Assessor, for Savannah Nichols as a clerk, effective October 28, 2021, with an annual salary of $27,500. Change in status received from Mike Lang, Chief Court Marshal, as follows. Alan Hart, salary increase from $35,949 to $36,449, effective November 1st, 2021, for achieving certified Glock armor. Edward Wilson, salary increase from $35,372 to $35,872, effective November 1st, 2021, for achieving certified ASP instructor. John Carball, salary increase from $34,478 to $34,978, effective November 1st, 2021, for achieving certified ASP instructor. Terrence Sahanic, salary increase from $47,359 to $47,859, for achieving certified Glock armor. Thomas Knott, salary increase from $35,372 to $35,872, for achieving certified Glock armor. Gene Miller, salary increase from $35,372 to $35,872 for achieving certified Glock armor. Change in status received from Jennifer Swisher, 911 director, for Melissa Holtzclaw to be promoted from telecommunicator 1 to shift supervisor effective October 30th, 2021, with a salary change from $44,325 to $50,674. Any questions on change in status?
Mr. President, if I may, our court security department now has all the certifications that we need so that no outside instructors are needed as far as pepper spray, weapons and ASP training, as well as the maintenance of their weapons. So that all will be done in-house.
Good. Always moving forward. All right, approval of minutes. Myself was not here. Entertain a motion to approve those minutes if there's not any changes or corrections.
Mr. President, I move to accept the minutes of October 14th, 2021 as submitted.
Second.
Motion's been made and second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. County council calendars will be here next Thursday, but off on the following Thursday to recognize Veterans Day. And boards and commissions. We have ambulance authority tonight, library board tonight, Monday the 6 p.m. planning commission, Tuesday the 2nd at 5 p.m. sewer district, 6 p.m. stormwater, Wednesday the 3rd 4 p.m. telemon. Any changes or corrections to those?
Because you only have 2 meetings in November, both of those meetings may go a little longer than new, only because we have so much that we're trying to get before the council, so.
All right. All right, in your packet, you also have a resolution for application for industrial access road, IAR grant, which we discussed that last week. Any questions or clarifications on that? We have canceled check request from the county clerk's finance office. I believe there was 2 of those. Any questions on those? All right. Ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. Good morning, Mr. Hess.
Did you abstain from the minutes?
I'm sorry?
I heard you abstain from the minutes.
I didn't. I abstained from the minutes. I'm sorry.
Well, that's good.
That's okay. Put your on record.
Yes. Thanks for keeping your left eye on.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Hess.
How you doing?
Good.
Just got a couple things here this morning, and I hope I don't have them mixed up, but the first one I think is office area real estate.
Okay.
There's, we had mineral values were added to this, special ID 2 accounts, and it should have been added on there, and for $3.52 each comes to $7.04.
Man, that's pretty significant.
Why is it, Mr. Hess, that some counties do mineral? I think I know, and some counties don't.
It's a good question.
I
They've
mean,
been on our land books as far as I can remember forever.
Well, I agree with Mr. Barnhart. We don't have any minerals here
No.
that's of any value with other water.
You look in the land books and they all have
Limestone.
$3, $4, $5.
Yeah.
I contacted the state tax department one time and asked them how they got on it. And they couldn't tell me.
Yeah.
They're on there, but these got added to the special ID account.
Right.
They should have been on there, but
What's
I have no clue how they got it.
What's a special ID?
It's personal property, like if you have a little home sitting on somebody else's land, that type of thing.
Class 3.
All right. Need a
President,
motion.
I move to accept the office error exoneration real estate in the order of $7.04.
Second.
What now? Oh,
We're making a motion.
yeah, I know.
That's what we do.
Okay,
And it's been seconded, so now
Yeah,
it's
so
up
now
to
it's time for you to go ahead and vote on
well, no, you're doing the,
He did real estate.
okay,
We
you
just
got me a little confused, you're backwards.
it. We're just following his lead.
Larry is leading the charge.
Don't blame me.
Well,
I'm
let-
trying to multitask over here and you're not allowing me to do it. All right,
Hey,
all right,
Doug,
so we have a motion, we have a second.
you're doing a good job. I got your back.
Thank you, buddy. This other side,
Get those
this
there.
side.
That leans pretty hard over there.
yeah, keeping our distance.
Any discussion?
Far away as I can get.
We already have plenty of discussions.
Because if
If
you
not-
don't do it,
All-
I'm next.
All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? The motion carries. All right, Mr. Hess, help get me back on track, please.
Okay, I got one more thing and I'm out of here.
All right.
Personal property office area, we had 4 we had to correct. All of them were double billed for some reason or another, and they add up to $119.24.
All right. Need a motion on the floor, personal tax exoneration due to office error, Mr. Barner.
I'll make a motion to approve the 4 personal tax exoneration due to office error in the amount of $119.24.
Second.
Any discussion on that motion?
No, I have nothing to say about it. I think it's very appropriate.
If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. You know, there's a reason why they call this a cheat sheet, right? And when you don't follow this cheat sheet, you really mess me up. All right. Board meeting reports, Mr. Barnhart.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. The only meeting I had this week was the Berkeley County Water District. Let me get the agenda out here. They had the first quarter financial results and they spent 25% of the budget, which is very appropriate. They designed Washington Heights and Meadows at Riverside. One thing they've been having trouble with, Frontier has been core drilling for installation of various improvements.
Doing some directional boring.
Yeah, and they've been hitting water lines regularly, and then they pull up and leave, and then the water lines laying there leaking. And the district goes and fixes them, bills Frontier, of course, but it's terrible. Probably that hit one 6-inch line one time, and, leaking, and they just pull off and go about their business. Don't call nobody or anything.
That's the directional boring company.
Yeah. And then several crews doing it, fiber optic and all this kind of stuff. And of course, they like to dig near water lines because the ground's already been disturbed. So. But I think they're having trouble with the gas companies and all kinds of people there.
Sounds like their aim's off.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's a friend of mine does that, and it's his job to take a whole crew out there and plot it and locate all those utilities out in front of the drill.
Well,
So it's his fault.
It's not my
well,
friend's
they
fault.
have
He's
they
not
have
working out
Mr.
here.
Utility mark them, but the old system, the old Peckin system in South Berkeley, like that, there's no record of them. They're just everywhere. And, so it's not entirely their fault, but they can at least call when they hit something.
Yeah.
And that was my meeting.
Okay, all right. Mr. Dahlia, since you two's full of energy this morning.
I had last Friday, I had a birthday party for my grandson to attend.
That's important.
That was a lot
How
of
old?
fun. He's 6 years old.
6 years old.
6 years old. He's a pistol. I bought him one of them basketball hoop things, and I went over to the house and had to set it up in his garage, and it took me till about 10:30 to get it set up with my son's help, and he didn't want to go to at 11:30. He was still wanting to play basketball, so we were like, "Yeah, we're done."
Yeah.
Another day. Lot of fun. Saturday did the food truck thing downtown.
How'd that work out?
That was, and of course, we went to Shepherd Game first for a little bit, the homecoming, and then came down and did the food truck. What an event! What an event!
Good
I mean,
event.
it turned out really good.
Well attended.
It was very well attended. The last time, I think it was similar to the attendance that were at the bike rallies when the bike rallies.
Seriously?
There was that many people.
Wow.
I mean, it was Travis Bishop, he owns Mountaineer Smoker,
Meat smokers.
Huh?
Meat smokers.
Yeah, well, what else you gonna smoke? But anyway,
Turkey.
There's a
me.
lot of things being smoked these days.
but he brought 500 pounds of meat. He said 20 trays of macaroni and cheese, and he was the event was going on till 7 o'clock, and it was a little after 6 when I talked to him, and he was like, "I'm out of everything. I don't have anything."
That's good.
Almost all of them sold out. I
So-
think the it was either the ice cream or the waffle cone or whatever. That one there still had a line at 6:30. So
So it sounds like Robbie needs to do those more often, huh?
it definitely need to get more food trucks. But I think it's a good springboard into marketing for it, because I think any food vendors that didn't attend and were on the fence, they'll be there next year because it was that good of an event.
Need to buy a lot of them little mobile set on coolers. Drive around town.
I think it's food truck on, gotta have a truck or a trailer.
We gotta have something to drink.
They had, the Main Street had their,
Garden.
yeah, they had, Reed's had their,
Okay.
beer trailer down there, and they were selling beer and refreshments. Had little bottles of wine, that type of thing. It was a good event. Good event. A lot of people. I mean, it was right at the end. They said that the lines were 40, 50 people deep in the first hour, and they said that it started to rain and nobody got out of line. They all just stayed in the line right in the rain and stuck right on through. And it was raining pretty good. I mean, down at the game in Shepherd where I was at, it was raining pretty good a couple times.
Yeah.
And but no, it was a great event. Great event for Main Street. Glad to see it go off as well as it did. Let's see, where am I at? Oh, the next convention, Visitor Bureau. Did that yesterday. I missed the senior services meeting, but did the Visitors Bureau. They had they did a small grant for the for some signage things for the $750, I think, for the Roundhouse, for some pamphlets and some banners and stuff, and did a grant. They had a $2,500 grant from the Dillon Farm Museum out there to do remarketing, rebranding type of thing, and I think their thought process was to actually try to work with them to do a little more than what they were asking for and help them get a whole new strategy and to help them out to get that. So that was good. It was good to see what they were doing, but it was also the information about, they talked about a couple of farm markets and a couple of the events that we have for October, for the Halloween events, that type of thing, on some of these agricultural properties, and how they've been supporting tourism. Not only do they support tourism, they go to them. They go to them to see how well they're attended, how many people, what kind of tags they have. And they said that they went to a couple of the different ones within the last couple of weeks and noticed a couple people that they recognized, that most of them were out of state. One of the ladies we appointed a while back was from the hotel. And she said it was good to see people calling and making reservations to stay at the hotel just for the food truck event. So the CVB is doing. I mean, they're getting the word out and getting some visitors to come to Berkeley County for these events. So it's good that they. I didn't know they followed up on it. I didn't know they did that type of thing to actually see how their advertising is working. So yeah, it's good.
Good. Mr. Whitaker.
Yes, sir. I didn't have any county meetings, but I attended a little impromptu meeting at Pikeview Acres Homeowners concerns with the Packhorse Ford Road. Met with the Division Lee Thorne for the Department of Highways and the local representative, John? Joe. Yeah, and the residents gave their concerns about the dust and the heavier traffic going by and creating a little bit of health issues with the dust. So me, Eric Householder, and Joe and Lee, each of us have a little thing we need to do to get some information as to what we can do for the road and what we can't. There possibly might be some grant money. It might have to go through the landmarks because it is a historic byway. So
How much traffic on that?
there's a lot. There's over 100 cars a day that go back and forth in and out of there.
Well,
And
that trailer park, I don't know how many trailers in that trailer park.
And there, I guess GPS is having people go through Pikeville Acres to where those streets dead end, and they're thinking that it's supposed to go on through, and they're dropping people off, and people are walking the rest of the way because they don't want to go back out around, and they're trespassing on other people's property. So we're going to see exactly what we can do. And also, Sandy Hamilton is there because they are now owners of the property that adjoin Packhorse Ford. So we're looking for a solution. We don't know how good it's going to be, but we're going to try to help them out the best we
Yeah,
can.
that's,
Is that something we can do road maintenance agreement with a creator? We did that before. Where was that? Down off of
I remember knowing we do that in ATV stuff. Yeah, but
Yeah.
there was one for road
yeah,
maintenance.
but we created a road maintenance. Why couldn't that be done out there?
We did a homeowner's maintenance agreement. It's been a couple of years ago, I forget where, but yes, it could be done if they would agree to it.
yeah, that does.
Well, Pikeview doesn't own per se the right of way, so that homeowners wouldn't be involved in this. So it would have to be
I mean, oh no, but
it would be the extension of
be
Packhorse Ford.
anybody that borders it. Anybody that borders that would have right to use that property, and they would all be considered. I would think, wouldn't they all be considered? Anybody that borders that road be part of that?
Yeah, there's a whole process that they file a petition and get so many percentage of people sign on, then it comes before public hearing here before the associations.
Right. What was the one we did down there, Middleway, down by Middleway, off of what's that road that shoots off to
Three
the-
runs.
3 Run.
Yeah, yes, you're right.
Yeah, we did one down there. Yeah, we didn't have all of the property owners, but we had the
I think
majority of
60%.
Huh?
60%.
Majority.
Yeah.
them. Yeah, but why couldn't you do something like that? Is that something that could be done back there?
Well, I'm not saying that it can't. I think if the residents or the landowners on past Pikeview would, but there's only going to benefit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 houses, I think, that adjoin Packhorse Ford from Pikeview. So Pikeview's going to be taking funds from their homeowners association and putting it on something that only benefits 7 of the residents. I don't know if that would be a
No,
feasible
Pikeview
option.
wouldn't have to do that. It'd be directly to the residents. The residents are the ones that would have access to that road, not the HOA. And they would have access to it, and everybody on that. You've got a house all the way back there, and a trailer park that has multiple.
Well, that would be the majority of the lion's share, I would think, would be those, because that's it's a half a mile from the railroad tracks east to Route 11. So, I mean, that's where the problem is created.
The biggest thing is if you get 500 feet to the west of the houses, that's where the trouble is.
Anyway, we're
That's been a problem forever, though.
Yeah.
I remember back when they were doing a bunch of sales back there. There was a
Remember where you paved the road with shingles
yep.
to cut down the dust, and man, the ruckus was terrible.
And there's a water issue from the elevation of the road that over the years has increased. And so there's discussions now with the development authority as to whether or not possibly a culvert pipe could be put in there, and we'll have to deal with the water issue then later on down the road. So.
All right, Mr. Gokenhour.
It's at a landmarks meeting on Monday. Still working on identifying the various cemeteries, not only by deed, but also by property, because some of them, they say are owned by Department of Highways. And after they've done some discussions with Department of Highways, they're truly not owned by the Department of Highways. Some of them have been left on for taxes, some of the properties have been, and I think that's where they went back to the state. So, you know, we have continual discussion about being able to protect those cemeteries. And I don't know if we would get like a GIS location of them and do an overlay through IT so that when the planning is going through their stuff that they would be able to recognize these particular cemeteries so that they aren't destroyed and they aren't, you know, bulldozed over because of the amount of growth that's going on. They need to be protected, and we need to, you know, currently it's on a it's on their checkoff list, you know, but there's no verification. That's the thing, you know, when the engineering firm, you know, does their work, they'll recognize that yes, there is or no, there isn't a cemetery on that property, but it's all on their word. There's no verification, and we really need to find a way to help solve that problem. The other thing is they voted to participate in the 250th birthday celebration. So I know that different groups have been meeting to try and pull that event together. Yesterday, I was not able to attend the subdivision rewrite subcommittee meeting, but I checked on them this morning, and they're making progress with that. So, and to pick up where Dan was, you know, I'd like to recognize the Orr's Farm Market as being one of the top 10 farm market attractions in the country. And when we were leaving the event downtown at Main Street on Saturday, we're following a long line of cars. I'm thinking, you know, and Candy says, "Where do all these cars come from?" I said, "They're going to Orr's." And like 5 out of 6 cars turned into Orr's. So they figured it out. You know, they really got a good thing going there.
That is an exceptional format.
It is, and you know, so you know, congratulations to them. That's about it.
You have McDonald's out there on Ardenova Road,
Oh yeah,
Charles
yeah,
Bill's place. That place is crazy with
yeah. They're
traffic.
doing very well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pumpkin patch and corn maze.
yeah. They're having fun.
Yeah.
And the animals.
All right, I have nothing to report on at this time. Any activity on boards and commissions? All right, moving on to Mr. Davis, you have state budget revision number 5, Fund 001.
Yes, sir. Since our last state budget revision in September, we've received 36 checks in ACHs totaling $253,438. Just a couple of things of note. The prosecuting attorney did receive a check for $4,855 from HIDA for supplies reimbursement, which we will put back into supplies and materials in Part 405. The IT department received 15 checks totaling $28,867 for services rendered. The rest is pretty routine. I do want to point out last month I did make a mistake on that state budget revision, which I will be correcting on this one. We did receive one large grant reimbursement. It had a number of grants in there, a total of $148,987, which we put in contingency. $104,000 of that actually was reimbursement for all the electronics that we're using for the video wall, which you've seen framed out here. We had
That's not gonna have Velcro on it, then we can.
no, we're not doing that.
Oh, man,
I know.
maybe even,
Behave yourself.
We
Behave
had
yourself.
purchased all the electronics out of the supplies and materials for IT department, and we were looking at control reports this week and realized that supplies materials for expended to date for IT was down to 70%, and we quickly figured out why it was so low. So we have to put that $104,000 back into the IT budget. So I'm recommending that the $253,438, $4,855 goes into supplies and materials for prosecuting attorney. The $28,867 for IT services go back into the IT budget. The $104,474 also, and I broke that out separately in your detailed spreadsheet, goes back into supplies and materials. We still are allowed to, we still have enough that we can put $96,713 in contingency. $529 goes into the sheriff's overtime budget, which was reimbursement from Jefferson County for highway safety grant overtime. And then we had received a check for $18,000 from the risk pool for a 2016 Ford Explorer that had been totaled, that we will be replacing actually with the pickup truck that you previously, Ford Interceptor pickup truck. So we'll be putting that into the capital outlay vehicles account. That's all for that.
All right, any questions from Mr. Davis? If not, I entertain a motion on state budget revision number 5, Fund 001.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. You want to go ahead and do the November health insurance
Yes, sir.
premium waiver?
Just one other thing, we did take delivery, we had one Ford police Interceptor that we had not gotten delivery of. That was that outlier that the council had approved for purchase to replace one that had been totaled. We actually took delivery of that this past Tuesday. So other than the 5 vehicles that you just approved, we've gotten everything in that.
That's good.
The health insurance premium, if you remember last December, December of 2020, we received notification from Highmark, West Virginia Blue Cross Blue Shield, that they recognized the struggles and the challenges that all of their fully insured clients was experiencing with the COVID pandemic, and they actually waived our December 2020 premium, so that when we got our premium notice, it was broken out, but the total amount due was 0. At that time, I came to the council and said, we have, in addition to us not owing our portion, the employees that have dependent coverage also will not owe their portion. So you actually waive the December premium for those employees that pay for dependent coverage. And what we did is we continued to take it out of their account, but their check, but then we turned around and put it right back in for purposes of payroll. So we received informal notification in late September, early October, that Highmark, West Virginia was considering doing the same thing for the current fiscal year. So that when we received our November 2020 health insurance billing, and it said, Highmark understands the challenges the last 2 years have brought our customers across West Virginia. To show our gratitude, we are issuing your business relief through a one-time medical coverage premium credit. On this invoice, your medical premium for current activity in November is 0. There may be difficulties ahead, but we are dedicated to helping your business stay successful and helping your employees stay healthy. Thank you for your business.
That's approximately $200,000, isn't it?
It is. And if you remember last year, we actually billed that through the departmental accounts because it's already budgeted, and we transferred it to our health insurance. We have a special revenue fund that we pay for our HRAs and health insurance out of. We actually billed it through, but we put the money into the account, but it was never taken out of the account. So that allows us to continue to build up a surplus, so that we were fortunate the past 2 years where we haven't had a premium increase. But in future years, if we do sustain a premium increase, we'll have a buffer there, hopefully offset some of that. So that's a long way of asking the council if you would consider waiving the dependent coverage that's being withheld from 31 employees. We went through and Penny and I calculated, we looked at the November billing, the total amount of premium that would be waived, that would not go in, that would not be withheld from the employee's check, it would stay in the employee check only for the month of November, totals $23,427.59.
How much?
$23,427.59.
Oh, that's for the employees.
That's what the employees
Right,
pay.
right.
And we prepared, there should be 31 letters, memos in your packet notifying the employees, so.
Okay.
If you would consider approving that, I would appreciate that.
All right, anybody entertain a motion?
Yes, sir. I'd like to make a motion, we accept Mr. Davis's recommendation on the premium waiver for November 2021.
Motion been made, do we have a second?
Second.
Second, any discussion?
Yeah, the water districts had the same.
Now, here's a Robert's Rule question. We all benefit from this. Well, not this motion, but we do from the benefit package, which is the county. But I am one of those ones that pays spouse. So should I recuse myself?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think you could avoid it.
Well, no, I'm just saying, this is,
benefit across the board. If this was specific to you, yes.
but this is one of them crazy Robert Rules things that don't make sense.
Across the board.
More of trying to make the point.
It's,
All right.
it's like when a judge or a Supreme Court justice hears something with PSC on electricity rates or something. Everybody buys electricity, so it's going to affect everybody. Still on.
All right, any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? The motion carries.
Thank you. Rather than take a break, since we have Mr. Skinner coming in at 10:30, if the council agrees, could you convene as the Board of Assessment Appeals for just one quick matter?
Yeah, all right. We need to, a motion to go into Board of Assessment Appeals.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made, second, any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries, we're in Board of Assessment Appeals.
Okay, Anthony, it's all yours.
Penny did a very good job. She started out with 8 or 9 of these
In 3 days.
hearings. We were going to have hours and hours of hearings, and we're down to one case that has not been withdrawn, but it's a case that the state tax department has come to an agreement with the taxpayer. It's quad graphics, properties titled to West Virginia Economic Development Authority. And because there's an agreement, there's no real facts for council to base any decision on other than what both sides agree to here, which is a reduction of the appraised value out there from $49,836,500 to $43,866,800.
And this is all real estate?
This is both real and the
Personal.
personal, the equipment. So this is an industrial facility in the state tax department. Did the appraisal on this.
And if you'll recall, with any industrial facility, the state is the one that handles that. And of all of them that we had scheduled, this is the only one that the state had any involvement in.
So this is just an order summarizing what the new appraisal that the state tax department recommends. In reality, since there's a pilot agreement here, this will reduce their next pilot payment by some amount. Because the pilot is based on the appraised value, we're not putting that calculation in here. It would just make things more confusing. I wasn't going to present this until we did all of the orders, but since we only have one order, I figured we'd just go ahead and adjourn the board assessment fees today.
I can definitely see, personal property values going down, but at the same time, the real estate values are going up like crazy. So hopefully the state took care of us on this one, because this is the one that we fought with for several years now. And when you dig up that pilot, I'd like to see a copy of it.
Okay. I can show you the copy.
Right.
I mean, their understanding would have, just all of this equipment that is used for print media is not as much.
Oh, yeah, I can understand that. All right, need a motion to approve the tax assessment for Quad Graphics.
So moved.
Second. Have a motion, I guess I should say District 08, map 0002, parcel 0026. Do we need the assessor here to do this at all?
No, so this order will be signed by members of council, and then it also needs to be attested to by the clerk, and it orders, and the clerk has to send copies, and I'll make sure they do, to the state tax department, to the taxpayer, to the sheriff, and to the assessor. And I'll make sure they everyone gets a copy and knows what to do with it.
Does the school board get a copy? Does the school board get anything?
Not under the, statute. I can let them know.
It's pretty significant.
But even when we go through Board of Equalization and review, when you go sine die back in February with that, all the orders that you do, school board doesn't get copies of those orders.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. All right. You got the original for me to sign?
Mr. Skinner is here if you want to go into executive session.
All the Mr. President for advancement.
And if you could just,
I'm sure I could. Be bothered, Mr. Barnhart.
because the statute is old, and it says that the council should adjourn sine die from the Board of Assessment Appeals, you can just do that.
Okay. Entertain a motion to adjourn, sine die.
So moved. Second.
Motion been made, second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. All right, Mr. Barnhart, I'm sorry, let's go, I need a motion to go in executive session for legal matters. I think that's the only thing we have today.
Yes, sir, that's it, just
All right, we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Second, any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? We are in executive session. All right, we're out of the executive session. No action will be taken. Mr. Barnhart, if you do the honors.
Mr. President, I move to recess.